Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would film another chatty video, this time attempting to give you guys advice on year 12 or starting your A-levels. And yeah, basically this is just going to be a mixture of things I did do and worked and things I didn't do but you should do, if that makes sense. So I know a lot of my audience is either the same age as me or is in the year below, so I did one of these videos for year 11 and you guys seem to really like it, so I thought I would continue it a year on, because if you are unaware, I'm actually going into year 13 next year. I do A-levels in biology, English literature and history, so I thought now would be a good time to let you guys know my advice for year 12. I did film a whole video about my personal experience of year 12, but that's not so much an advice video as it is just me telling you about year 12, but either way I will link that up there. I think that's the corner you put it in. But yeah, anyway, also quick disclaimer, can we please ignore my nails in this video? I know I wave my hands around a lot, and acrylics are not looking the best right now. I have one missing there, and that one's snapped. But I am getting them done tomorrow, so all is not lost, but for the moment, they look like trash. Okay, so I'm just going to get straight into it, and my first piece of advice is to do with starting. So in the first couple of weeks, or the first term even, everyone says it is a jump. It is a jump from GCSE to A-level. There is a big kind of gap that you have to get over, and that is definitely true, but I think that is often over exaggerated almost, because there is a change, there is a shift, but it's a shift that you can get very easily used to very quickly if you just don't let it get the better of you. So yes, there is a change in workload. I definitely experienced this. I went from a moderate amount of work and homework in year 11 to quite a lot at the start of year 12, because especially in the first term, teachers are not afraid to pile work onto you to see who can hack it, to see who is like ready for it, etc. But my top tip for that is just to go with the flow. If they set you work for a certain date, do it for that date, and also do your work as soon as possible. I don't recommend leaving things till the last minute at A-level. You can get away with it in lower school, I'm not gonna lie. I did do things last minute in year 11 and in the years below, but in year 12 that method just doesn't work. The reason being is that because you get so much more work, if you keep leaving it all, it just piles up until you've got loads to do, and that's when you get stressed and that's when you get overwhelmed. But if you just do it as you get it and you just go with the flow, and if a teacher tells you to give that thing in on Friday, you give it in then it's fine and you do get used to it. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, because it's not. But if you just go with the flow, as I've said like 5,000 times now, you will get used to it and the jump will not seem as great as it did at the start. Also, I know that lots of people are starting at new colleges or new sixth forms, and even though I didn't have this personal experience because I stayed at the same sixth form as the secondary school that I was at, I know that that's not the case for lots of people, and even though I haven't had that experience myself of having the complete fresh new start, my advice for that would just be, remember that everybody is in the same boat, especially if you're going to a college that doesn't have a lower school. No one is really going to know anyone else unless you go with people you know to that college. And yeah, just remember that if you're nervous, I guarantee that everyone else is probably going to be feeling the same, if not similar. So don't be afraid, especially on like the first couple of days, to go up and speak to people, because especially if they're standing alone and you're standing alone, if you go up and speak to them, they are probably going to be so relieved. No one is going to be like, why are you talking to me? You know, so just remember that you are all experiencing the same thing, and you can make it so much easier for yourself and for other people by just going for it And at the end of the day, you haven't really got anything to lose. If you don't get on with someone, then don't become friends. There are plenty of people to get to know and to become friends with, so you will find people that you click with and you connect with, so I wouldn't worry about that. Even if you don't find them in the same week, friendship groups can shift around loads during the years, and yeah, you will find someone. And just remember to be yourself, and if you're not feeling confident, then fake it till you make it. That is my biggest tip with confidence. But yeah, if you are doing that, then good luck. I feel like I'm not really qualified to speak about it that much because I never had that experience, because obviously I went to a sixth form from a secondary school that I was already at, so I already knew most of the people there. But yeah, also in the first couple of months, or the first term at sixth form, I'd say don't be afraid to change things if something isn't working for you or you're not enjoying something. Lots and lots of people at my sixth form, despite it being a small sixth form, did change subjects after even a few weeks or a few months or even up till Christmas. So if things don't work out for you, then don't be afraid to tell someone about it and tell someone that you want to change, because in the early stages it's not too late. But also I'd say with that is don't give up too easily. A-levels aren't supposed to be easy. None of the subjects are easy, so if you're finding a subject hard, I wouldn't give up on it just because of that, because especially in the early months of sixth form, the content can seem very overwhelming because you've been given this massive textbook with like everything for that year in, and you're like, oh, I'm never going to get this done, there's so much. But it does get easier and you do get through it, so I wouldn't give up too easily. But if you know that this subject isn't for you and you're not enjoying it and you'd rather do something else, then go for it, change it. You don't really have anything to lose in the first couple of months, so yeah, don't be afraid to tell someone about that either. The teachers aren't going to be offended if you don't like their subject. At the end of the day, it's not really their problem. You're the one taking the A-levels, not them. So my next piece of advice for year 12 would definitely be to take part in things. If your sixth form or college organises things like social events or like sport events or whatever, then please take part in them, because I was social event coordinator in year 12 and I tried my best to organise things, but it was so annoying when people weren't enthusiastic or no one wanted to take part. And I don't really see why, because I feel like in comparison to year 13, year 12 is such a great opportunity to have more fun at sixth form and do these kind of activities, because guaranteed you won't have that time in year 13. So yeah, if social events are being put on and things like that, I'd definitely say go and attend them, especially if you're at a new sixth form or college. It's a great opportunity to meet people, or for me it was a great opportunity to socialise with people that I hadn't really socialised with before because I was in a different class to them in lower school or things like that. So yeah, it's also really nice because it means that your sixth form has more of a community spirit and you feel more involved, and it's just a nicer atmosphere than just like straight academics. So yeah, get involved, definitely. Also, another massive tip for starting sixth form and year 12 is keep yourself organised. Honestly, it makes the world of a difference if you organise yourself as you go along. So every week, say on a Friday, once you finish that week, organise your folders. Make sure that you have all the stuff for your homework or assignments and everything that you need, and make sure that you organise notes that you make as you go along, and you organise revision materials as you go along, whether this is in folders or other storage ways, whatever floats your boat. But just make sure that you are keeping yourself organised throughout the year, because honestly, when it comes to revision, if you have organised yourself throughout the year, it will make your life so much easier, because you will know where all your notes are, you will know where all your materials are, and the right textbooks, and you know, the right whatever you need. So yeah, I definitely say that. And also, like, when it comes to year 13, that's going to make your life so much easier as well, because then you won't have to be like rummaging around trying like desperately to find all your year 12 work that you need to obviously still remember. So yeah, keep yourself organised. And also linking on from that, I would definitely say make sure that you make resources as you go along. This was one of the things that I did for biology, and it did make a world of difference when it came to revision and mocks. So after we finished a section of a module in biology, for example like transporting plants, I would then go and make flashcards for that section, and it meant that by the end of the year I had a set of flashcards I had a set of flashcards for every section of the specification. So basically I had the entire specification of biology AS or year 12 in flashcards, which meant that when it came to mocks I didn't need to make any revision materials. All I had to do was go over those flashcards and I'd covered everything that I needed to know. And yeah, so I definitely recommend that. I wish I did it for my other subjects too, because I didn't do it for history and I didn't do it for English, and that meant that when it came to mocks I was desperately trying to make revision resources for history because I hadn't made a lot, and I was making Quizlets on history like literally like that. So and I still haven't finished making them. I was supposed to do that this summer but I didn't, so that's another job for year 13 on top of everything else I already have to do, so that's fun. As you can see, make them as you go along. You will make your life so much easier. Also linking on from that, getting on to the fun stuff, make sure that you revise for your mocks. I know different sixth forms and colleges have mocks at different times. Mine were at the end of June, so right at the end of the school year, which sucked because I was ready for summer at that point, not ready for a week of straight exams. But make sure that you revise hard for them. I definitely did not do as much work for them as I should have. Guaranteed I still got good grades, but it's not all about that. The great thing about mocks is, especially if they are at the end of the year for you, it's a great opportunity to consolidate year 12 and consolidate all your knowledge. And I wish I'd revised harder in that sense, because if you consolidate all your work from that year at the end of the year, then obviously when you start year 13 you're going to make your life so much easier because you're going to remember year 12 better. So revise hard for your mocks. And also, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but our mock grades are what our teachers based our predictions on for year 13, because I do a linear course, so I don't have AS exams, I only have A-level exams, so it's a 2-year course. Those mock exam grades were the predictions from the mock exam grades were then what our teachers submit to university when we do our UCAS application. So they are important even though they are mock exams, but the most important thing about them really is the opportunity they present to consolidate your knowledge. So definitely make the most of them, because there's not that much pressure in year 12, or I didn't find it anyway. It's a very kind of laid back year, especially because I didn't have AS exams, I only had the mock exams, so there's no one really like hounding you to revise all the time, and therefore you don't really do it. So mock exams are probably like the kick up the butt that you do need at the end of year 12 to get yourself in gear. And yeah, so definitely make the most of them, even though at the end of the day they are exams. I'm not saying enjoy them, I'm saying make the most of them. Also, I talked briefly about university then, but my advice for university, even though like I haven't submitted my application yet or anything, I would say it's probably a good idea to have an idea of the course that you want to do at university by the time the summer comes around in year 12. So I don't mean like know what university you want to go to and all the modules and all the rest of it, but have an idea of like, oh, I want to do like English literature, or I want to do business or something like that, because obviously open days start in June and I think some of them are in July, and if you know the course that you want to do at uni, it makes narrowing down universities so much easier. And also I know lots of places, lots of sixth forms and colleges, they like you to write your first draft of your personal statement for university over the summer holidays. That's what mine has done, although I haven't finished mine yet. But obviously if you know what subject you're going to do, then it's so much easier to write your personal statement. It's pretty impossible to write your personal statement without knowing what course you're writing it for. But yeah, I'd say make sure that you kind of know at least vaguely what course you want to do, at least what genre of course. I mean, I don't know what uni I want to go to yet. I'm going to all my open days in September and October, so I will decide that then. But for now I know I want to do business management, and that has made deciding which open days I want to go to so much easier, and also obviously writing my personal statement so much easier. So yeah, that was my advice for year 12. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and also I really hope that it was helpful. I know that I talked a lot about sixth form in this video, and that wasn't intentional. It's just because obviously I go to a sixth form, so it's kind of like my default thing to say sixth form, but obviously this applies to college as well. There are lots of similarities between the two, but yeah, hope you found this helpful. Let me know how you get on, and yeah, make sure to like, subscribe and follow my social media, which will be linked down below in the description. Bye guys!